Hello everybody, welcome to my 12 by 12 office space / studio that was actually originally being used as my bedroom. I'm so proud of how the space has progressed over the last few months, and I couldn't be more excited to share it with you. So today, I'm gonna take you around the room, starting from the desk and working our way over to the studio. And make sure to watch to the end to see how I set up my studio to film my YouTube videos. Let's get into it. So starting with the desk, this is the FlexiSpot Kana Bamboo Standing Desk E3 with a 78 by 30 tabletop. It's probably the biggest table I've ever owned, but I really enjoy the extra real estate, whether it's for unboxing packages off to the side or brainstorming in my notebook. The desk has 3 height presets, and I've set the first one to be sitting, the second one to be standing, and the third one for an in-between waist level height for if I need to unbox a package standing up. The desktop material I chose is bamboo, which I found is stronger than wood and also has better moisture resistance, so I can have more peace of mind when I have a mug on the table. Powering my entire setup is the 16-inch MacBook Pro with M1 Max. This is where I do all of my editing, color grading, emailing, and it's an overall beast. I actually picked this guy up refurbished, and I bought it through an Apple employee, which brought the total cost down from $3,500 to just under $2,700 pre-tax, which is awesome because it's pretty much a brand new machine. I chose to go with the MacBook form factor this year because it allows me to travel and work if I ever need to, and when I'm not traveling, it lets me work from different locations within my apartment, which is nice to switch up every now and then. But when it's in the studio, this MacBook sits on top of the laptop stand from Lamical, which is height and tilt adjustable. I love that it elevates the MacBook up to eye level to use as an additional display, and Lamical's actually offering 40% off this stand with code LAMICALCJ until June 1st, so make sure to click that link down in the description below to check it out. Now you may notice that there's only one cable hooked up to my MacBook, which brings me to probably my favorite accessory on the entire desk, the CalDigit TS4. This is a Thunderbolt 4 dock, which allows you to hook up a bunch of things to the dock and connect it to your MacBook with just one cable. This makes going from a mobile setup to a desktop setup super easy, and I generally think that this is a must-have for anyone using their MacBook like a desktop. I plugged in an external hard drive, my trackpad, speakers, my monitor, the power supply, and this dongle for DaVinci Resolve Studio. On the front, I love that there's an SD card and micro SD card slot, so I can just import my footage really easily. Also, make sure to like this video if you're enjoying it so far, and consider subscribing if you like tech content. For my monitor, I'm using the LG Ultrafine 5K, which is a couple of years old at this point, but it gets the job done, and I'm not really looking to spend $1,000 plus on a new monitor unless this one breaks or another company sends me one for testing. Next up is this beautiful phone charger from Nomad called the MagSafe phone stand, which may be the most expensive phone charger ever. For $60, the charger does not come included, so you need to spend an additional $40 to get the MagSafe charger from Apple. While it is pricey, it does feel pretty premium, and it does sit at a perfect angle for Face ID and taking FaceTime calls. And when I am taking a call, I like how the phone is elevated off of the table so that it doesn't cover the bottom microphones. Next, let's talk about my peripherals, which are all sitting on top of this Grove-made desk mat. As far as the keyboard goes, I'm rocking the Magic keyboard, and the reason I went with this keyboard as opposed to the really popular Logitech MX keys is because of one button that this keyboard has that the Logitech doesn't. Can you guess what it is? Yes, that's right, Touch ID can only be found on this keyboard, and I feel like it's such an integral part of this MacBook, from logging in to Apple Pay to installing programs. I probably use Touch ID at least 5 to 10 times a day, and before I got this keyboard, I'd just have to reach over to my MacBook, which isn't that big of a deal, but when you're doing it so many times a day, it's nice just to have it next to your fingers. I also have the Magic trackpad, which is just something that I'm testing. I think the pros of using a trackpad are that it's nice to pinch and zoom around and just navigate like a Photoshop canvas or a Maps app, because it's just a really nice surface for doing that stuff. As far as the mouse goes, yes, I am using the Magic mouse. I've used it for years and I've gotten used to it, so the ergonomics don't really bother me. I like how it implements with macOS with the swipe gestures, and overall it's just a really nice experience, although the charge port on the bottom does really bother me when it runs out of batteries, so I wish Apple would make some sort of charging pad for it. For speakers, one of my all-time favorite setups is the Audio Engine A2 Pluses paired with the S8 subwoofer, which sounds amazing and looks good too. If you like music, these speakers are a must-have. To the left of that is the Grove Made wood pen cup, which has a bunch of my pens, some highlighters, and my unboxing knife. Then next to that is a lamp from IKEA with the Nano Leaf Essentials bulb inside that allows me to control it using my phone since they're HomeKit enabled. I usually keep it on the circadian lighting to keep the color temperature of the light matching what's going on outside. Cooler light during the day and warmer light during nighttime sort of helps with my energy levels throughout the day. Then my headphones of choice are the Bose NC700s sitting on top of this beautiful headphone stand from Banks, which saves valuable desktop space and looks incredible. Now these headphones come in clutch when there's a leaf blower or a lawnmower outside, or when I need to really focus in on the audio mix for an edit. So in my opinion, noise canceling headphones are a must-have for any setup. Now around my desk, there are a few other items like this drawer from IKEA where I keep some notebooks, hard drives, and this portable vacuum to keep the space clean and dust free, which for 40 bucks is an awesome deal if you like to keep your space clean like me. Lastly, the chair that I'm using is the Steelcase Leap, which is a fantastic chair that I picked up used for about 200 bucks. Now that pretty much covers the desk/work portion of my room, but keep watching because we're gonna see how I set up the studio to film a YouTube video. So if you guys take a look at the right side of my room, you'll find a whole 9-foot seamless backdrop as well as some other fun things. To set up for filming, I'll first move this chair and desk over that I use for my reviews. The desk is on wheels to make it way easier to move with just one person. Then I set up my lighting, close the blinds, and that's pretty much it. It really only takes 1 to 2 minutes for me to set up the entire thing, and I think that's really important for any creator, just to make setting up for filming as easy as possible. Now, one of my favorite products in this studio setup is probably this backdrop system that I have, which is great if you're renting a space or don't want to drill into the walls. It also allows you to hang a backdrop up without 2 huge stands hogging up floor space. This whole set is called the Impact Varipole system, which comes with these 2 long telescoping poles, which has a lever that you pull down to put the perfect amount of pressure on your ceiling and floor to hold it in place. Once those 2 poles are set up, you can attach these backdrop holders that come in the kit, which supports 3 backdrops. The whole thing can be set up in under an hour, and the best part, like I said, is that there's no drilling involved and you can take it down anytime that you need to move. As far as lighting goes, my entire YouTube setup is just one light, which is the Amaran 200D by Aperture, that's hooked up to the Light Dome SE for a really nice and soft look. This light is really budget friendly and gets super bright, and it can even be connected to my phone via Bluetooth to turn it on or off or change the output wirelessly. As far as sound goes, I use the Rode NTG5 for my on-camera reviews, which is connected to the Rode PSA1 desktop boom arm. I also use the Audio-Technica AT2020 for voiceovers, which is what you're hearing right now. Then I have the Nanoleaf lines, which really gives the space a nice modern touch. You can customize the design how you like it and make any shape that you want. And it also syncs with my desktop lamp using the same app, which is awesome. Now the final piece in the studio is this shelf that holds some gear and a charging station. Up on top is my 100K plaque, which I recently hit. So thank you all of you guys for watching my videos. This truly is a dream job and I couldn't be happier. Now, if you look in the reflection of this 100K plaque, you'll see the camera that I'm using, which is the Sony FX3. And attached to that camera is the Sigma Art 24-70 f2.8. Some other things on this shelf are this variable ND filter from Nisi, which goes from 1 to 5 stops. I also have another lamp from IKEA, and this Anker surge protector that makes for a great charging station because it has so many outlets that are nicely spaced apart and 3 USB-A ports. Down below, I have some tape, some clamps, and some storage bins for miscellaneous items. And that pretty much wraps up this studio tour. Hey, thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. If you're interested in any of the products we talked about, all of the links will be down in the description below, so make sure to use those links if you want to support the channel. Also, if you have any questions, suggestions for new products, make sure to leave a comment with the fire emoji. That way I know who made it to the end. Last but not least, make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy tech content or if you enjoy the quality of this channel. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.